Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another cons cast, and today the format is going to be a little bit different, mostly because setting up the camera and all that actually takes a little bit more time, as well as encoding actual camera footage also takes more time than encoding gameplay footage, at least for me personally at this point. So due to the fact that I've been extremely tight in terms of timing because of what YouTube is up to and whatnot, as well as the fact that I'm leaving in a couple of days, I decided to go with a different format for this particular conscast. No, I am not getting rid of the camera on conscast forever. It is just a one-time thing because I just don't have enough time. There's not enough hours in the days lately, so I'm sorry about that. But anyways, let's continue onward with the conscast. Before I actually start this episode, I would also like to inform people that I'm going to be making reference to some stuff that happened to me throughout the year of 2013. But because, I mean, this is kind of like probably going to be the last conscast in the channel. But before I start, talking about the stuff that happened throughout 2013, I would like to also tell everyone that my memory is utter garbage. Like, I forget stuff just like that, like snapping your fingers and it's gone. That is just the way that my memory works, and especially since I don't get much sleep anyways. Yeah, so if I forget to mention anything that I have done that seemed somewhat important to someone or whatever, it's like, I'm sorry, but my memory is, like I said, garbage. So I'm probably going to forget to mention a lot of important stuff that happened throughout 2013, but let's continue. So the very first thing, as per usual, going to be giving out a couple of shoutouts, and also let me just warn you that this conscast is being recorded on the 19th of December 2013, so if I forgot to mention anything that has happened after that, that is the reason why. Anyways, the very first shout out is going to be to Chris Winter for making a generous donation to the cause. Thank you very much, Chris Winter. And to Paul Desmond for donating Batman Arkham City Game of the Year edition. Thank you very much, Paul. I just hope that I have enough time to eventually get to it. But yeah, thank you very much to the both of you. You guys are awesome. I would also like to mention that I've been missing a lot of people's messages on Steam, and I apologize for that. The thing is, like, recently it's just been record, edit, render, and then sometimes I have to turn off my computer or restart or whatever, and every single time that I restart, like, the messages on Steam, they're gone. Like, they're not saved, nothing. They're just flat out gone. I never get to see them. And I remember that at some point, I actually saw this one message by someone. I can't remember his name. He was trying to give me a game through Steam, and for whatever reason, I either restarted my computer or whatever. I lost that message. So thank you for the effort. And I'm sorry I never got back to you. But again, I always try to get back to people. It's just these past few days, actually these past few weeks even, have just been ridiculously chaotic. And the reasoning behind that, and I'm going to touch just briefly on the subject, is obviously the content ID matches. It is a major pain in the ass. I have to organize the information, send it over to Polaris. I also have to organize the information, submit disputes, do all that stuff. I've made 2 videos on this specific video, so you guys kind of already know what's going on with the content ID matches. That has been taking up a lot of my time. That has really been dipping into my production time of videos. Like, my channel is getting hit with content ID matches, probably not as hard as some other channels, but it's still getting hit pretty hard, and it is still taking a lot of time for me to sort through those things out. And most importantly, I would like to not just mention on what I've touched already, but I would also like to mention that for a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people that maybe you're watching right now, January is going to be a month that is going to make or break their channels. Now, you guys might be wondering, what? What the hell are you talking about? Make or break in January? Why? Because the monetization review system that's going to be coming into place. Now, a lot of people do a lot of content which is time sensitive. Now, me personally, I don't do as much, although everything is time sensitive. It's that simple. On YouTube, everything that you make is time sensitive always. So, like, a lot of times I might even do something that is only relevant for a day, even though that is not my main content, so to speak. But let's say, for instance, now that I have some contacts in the industry and whatnot, every now and then I will receive stuff that's given to me from the publishers like ahead of time, and I have a chance to actually get in early on something and put up my impressions before the game actually hits shelves and before it actually hits Steam or whatever. And I like being able to do that, and January might basically determine that a lot of people are not going to be able to do that anymore. And a lot of people depend on that exclusively to be able to basically work with their channels. Like, if they don't do it first day, it's like it's over for them. And the thing is, there's actually money invested in this for those people, because they will actually like leverage out the thing of going into a store, like maybe they know someone, they're able to get early access to something or whatever, and they leverage out paying for something and the profit that they're going to be making on YouTube for releasing that kind of stuff early, and those people are going to basically be screwed. Now, like I said, even though despite the fact this is not my case most of the time, it is most definitely going to make life a lot harder for me, and it might also make or break my channel. So we will see how that is going to work out on January. I'm just basically letting you guys know ahead of time that there are most definitely going to be problems when January hits, and there are going to be a lot of channels that are going to flat out just give up on this, and unless something radically changes within YouTube, there's not really a whole lot that we're going to be able to do about it. Now, that is also one of the reasons why I've been exploring other options apart from YouTube. Like, I've been doing more and more Twitch over the past couple of months. Like, I was already doing more Twitch before the Content ID thing happened, because I currently have a connection that allows me to actually do Twitch in a more proper way. So I've kind of already been doing Twitch, and the whole Content ID situation just basically reinforced the fact that I wanted to do even more Twitch, and it is definitely something that I'm going to be doing more of in the future. As a matter of fact, I did a Killzone live stream where I played the entirety of Killzone over the past 2 weeks, and I wanted to actually put this on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I told, sorry, it's like I'm still, my nose is just being a pain in the ass this time of the year, but basically, I actually played through the entirety of Killzone Shadowfall, and it was my intention to put that entire playthrough on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I said to a lot of people, yeah, this is all going to go on YouTube, but I made a mistake in that I haven't been keeping up to date as to how Twitch is actually working. And I'm not blaming Twitch. It's definitely not their fault. It's my fault because I wasn't paying attention. But Twitch currently deletes your archives after 48 hours. And I wasn't aware of this. I seem to remember that a long time ago, Twitch would keep your archives for like 7 weeks, for 7 days or a full week. So I was confident that I was going to be able to just grab an archived footage that I had of the first 6 chapters of the game. Unfortunately, I wasn't. That stuff was just flat out gone. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I had like chapters 6 through 10 or whatever until the end of the game. And I had nothing else. So I decided, well, in that case, I'm just going to not upload anything because it's not going to make any sense to just upload a portion of the game. Eventually, I might go back to the game if you guys really want to see me play Killzone or whatever. I might eventually go back and do a normal playthrough, but I don't think it's going to be as much fun as it was for the first time. And also, I would like to give some feedback in regards to Killzone Shadowfall, like I gave you guys my first impressions. So that is also the reason why you guys are watching Killzone footage, because I actually do like Killzone multiplayer quite a bit. And the thing about Killzone is I really like the gunplay in Killzone, and I like the weight behind the movement in Killzone, as it's not one of those games that you're just running 300 miles an hour at all times and just shooting people down like nobody's business. No, it's like it's got a slower pace to it, and I really like that slower pace, as well as I really like the heavy recoil of the weapons. I don't know, it just feels like a more meaty FPS, if that even makes any sense. I really liked it, and I found it interesting that so many people just crapped all over the game, saying, oh, it's standard and this and that, the other. I feel that people just expect things to revolutionize at every friggin' turn, and it doesn't work like that. Like it just doesn't work like that. People expect to get their minds blown on a daily basis, and it's like not every game is going to blow your mind. That's completely unreasonable. That's like you go to watch a movie. Do you expect every single movie that you watch to blow your mind? It's not gonna happen. I mean, you have to, and that again just makes the rating system that a lot of people use obsolete. Like 7 out of 10. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, for all you know, for me, Killzone was a really cool experience. It might have been 10 out of 10. It might have been 5 out of 10. Who the hell knows? It all depends on the person itself. That's the thing. It's all about the personality that's actually reviewing titles. And that is the reason why I don't give out review scores, because I think that's just useless. It is just useless, and it is a relic of a bygone age. It's like people don't need ratings anymore. You can even look at stuff like, for instance, the fact that Rome Total War 2, they said that how they were developing their game to achieve a certain score in Metacritic. What? How about developing your game to achieve fan acclaim? Not even critical acclaim, because you don't need critical acclaim. You need fans to like your game. Look at Dark Souls. That's what Dark Souls does. Like, a lot of critics don't understand what the fuck they're doing when they get to Dark Souls, and they don't understand what the game is all about, and to them the game is a piece of crap, and to other people the game is good. That is, again, these scoring and Metacritic, it's relics of a bygone age. Forget about it. That shit doesn't matter anymore. At least it shouldn't matter anymore. It only matters because some people are so narrow-minded that they have no fucking idea what this industry is even about anymore. But yeah, so Killzone, I enjoyed it, had a lot of fun with it, and I found it interesting that a lot of people will tell you how, like, Killzone is this amazing thing in terms of, it's like a tech demo for the PlayStation 4, and amazing graphics, and 60 frames a second, and yet very few times have I heard people talk about the sound of Killzone. I think I myself might have not mentioned the sound of Killzone when I did my first impressions video, but the thing is, I do first impressions videos. Like, I spend a couple of hours with the game and I make my video. Like, I don't always play a game all the way through to get really the impact of something, like what the sound of the game really impacted me all the way through. Like, the sound design of Killzone Shadowfall is amazing. It is awesome. I love the sound of the guns. I love the sound of the explosions. I love the way that they take into consideration if something blew up near you and your ears start to, you know, like, that kind of stuff. And I think it's just really well done. The sound is really well done. In terms of the story, I like the story, but I have to say the final mission was a piece of crap. Yeah, there's no easy way to put it. Even the people who were watching me on my live stream as I was doing the final mission, they were all saying, wow, this is not good. And here's the thing. I played through the whole game on hard, right? So when I got to the final mission, I was expecting the game to kind of, you know, maintain a little bit of a curve. There were a couple of bits where the difficulty curve rose a little bit above what you would expect, because for the rest of the game it was pretty easy. But those bits were, like, doable. Like, I went through most of them in, like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. That last mission, I think I spent like an hour on it, or maybe even more. I was dying inside because of, oh man. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to be talking too much about it, but the last mission was a disappointment and an exercise in frustration. But anyways, apart from that, I really enjoyed the title. I really liked playing it, and I really like playing the multiplayer. I'm going to continue playing the multiplayer. My favorite class is support, so that's what you guys are seeing me play in the background there, and I've had a lot of fun playing support. So yeah, that was the Killzone thing. I'm sorry, I'm actually not going to be able to bring you the full playthrough of Killzone, which is something I had planned to just port over. I'm not even sure if I said I was going to do it or not in YouTube, but I did have the plan to actually port stuff over from Twitch and putting it all over YouTube, and it was going to be something that was going to be appearing all over the channel as I was going to be away. Unfortunately, that is not going to be happening. However, I have other news of stuff that I've officially told people. I've been saying it throughout my social streams, which is one of the reasons why you should follow me on Twitter or Facebook or Google Plus, if that's your thing. That is one of the reasons why you should be following me there, because every now and then you will get a little bit of additional tidbits of information. Like Sidestrafe said in one of his videos, you don't have to go to Facebook because apparently they like spy on you and get all your information. But Twitter seems to be pretty easygoing. At least that's the way that I see things. And Twitter is actually the one that I'll be honest, like out of all the social networks and all that stuff, Twitter is the one I like the most because it keeps stuff short and to the point, which is a really good thing. Like a lot of people seem to think, oh, 140 characters, so little. No, 140 characters is perfect because it makes people think about what they want to say instead of like typing out like a fucking essay every time they want to say something. So I really like Twitter in that regard. Anyways, I digress. Like I said, I haven't mentioned this to anyone officially on YouTube, but basically I've been working on a Dragon's Dogma playthrough. And there's a reason behind this, for those of you wondering, because I did do the video where I asked about stuff and then I canceled it because of YouTube's content ID system. But what happened is, in between all this back and forth, Capcom has been one of the companies that has been on top of things. I'm not saying that the other companies haven't, bear in mind. I'm just saying that Capcom, at least on my end, has been someone who's really been delivering at a very steady pace. Like, they will get rid of your claims usually pretty damn fast. Like, within 24 hours, I can get mostly everything of Capcom off of my channel. So, in a way to kind of show my support for that, I decided, you know what? A lot of people mentioned in that previous video that I did that they really wanted to see Dragon's Dogma, which is interesting because I didn't even put Dragon's Dogma as a choice. And people were still like, Dragon's Dogma, Dragon's Dogma. And I was like, okay, I need to go and do Dragon's Dogma because Capcom's being awesome. Dragon's Dogma is a game that I actually want to play Dragon's Dogma. It's just the whole content ID match thing has really put me off from going after it full force. But I just decided, you know what, let's do it. It's what the people want anyways. So a lot of people would even say like, oh, well, I guess I'll pick Knack, but I would really want you to do Dragon's Dogma. So yeah, I worked on it. As of today is the 19th of December. I have 18 episodes, which I think is going to be enough to basically fill up the channel for when I'm away. But I'm going to work on a couple of more simply because I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. There's a couple of episodes which aren't that exciting because, as you guys know, there's a lot of traveling in Dragon's Dogma, and I'm not editing all of that stuff out. So there are some episodes where it's just me traveling and going to places and doing escort missions. But usually fun stuff happens pretty much on every episode. So I think you guys are going to enjoy that. So yeah, that's going to be coming while I'm away. So probably either on the 22nd or the 23rd, you will see the very first episode of that come into play. And pretty much it's going to be one episode every single day at the usual time that you guys usually get my content. Obviously, while I'm away, I'm not going to be able to do first impressions. So you guys are going to have to deal with that absence. If you're not into Dragon's Dogma, then you're not really going to have anything to watch until I'm back. Once again, I'm sorry for that. Again, it's out of my control. Everybody needs a break every now and then. And yeah, that's going to be something that you guys can look forward to. I'm sorry if it's not something that you wanted to look forward to, but I had to make a choice, and in the end, I chose to go with one of the companies that was really on the forefront of dealing with this content ID match situation to kind of just show my support and to kind of hopefully see if other companies will follow suit in getting rid of all these content ID matches as fast as possible to allow us to keep doing our job. So now I would like to reflect a little bit on a couple of the things that happened throughout 2013. 2013 was a great year. At least for me, personally, it was a great year. I got married in 2013. You guys probably know about that. At least I think you know about that. There's even like a part where I show myself dancing, I think, in a video. I can't remember. It was back in May. Like I said, my memory is a piece of crap. But I was very happy. I am very happy. I'm still very happily married. And in this same year, I also met Sidestrafe in real life, which was also pretty amazing. He spent 2 weeks in Portugal. I got to go to E3 which was awesome. Met a lot of people over at Maker, met a lot of developers, met the people from PlayStation Portugal, which is interesting. I went to America and I met up with the people from PlayStation Portugal in America, which I don't know. It was also where I met the people from Rubber Chicken Games, who have been working with me and helping me out, getting me in touch with a lot of people from the industry in Portugal, as well as, you know, just we've just been working together, and it's been a blast. And then I also got to go to Gamescom, which I went with the Rubber Chicken guys and got a lot of cool interviews for you guys, and again, improved my contacts in the industry, which again, just awesome. And I felt that throughout the year, I've really grown as a professional, like actually doing the type of coverage that I'm doing, editing videos and just like doing the whole YouTube thing. I felt that I've grown quite a bit, me personally, as a professional, and that has really shown in my content. At least I think it's shown in my content. I could be wrong, I don't know, but that is the way that I've felt about it. And something that I've noticed is that obviously my channel growth did not mirror my own professional growth, at least not the way that that I would expect. But the thing is, I don't expect my channel to just explode all of a sudden, because unlike a lot of people on YouTube, I'm never after the big thing, and I very rarely make videos to sensationalize something or to try to take advantage of stuff. I just don't do that. And I guess that is one of the reasons why my channel is always going to be a channel that grows very, very slowly, because it's just not the type of stuff that goes viral on YouTube. And let me just assure you guys, those of you that enjoy my content as it is, that I have no intentions of chasing after the next big thing, as a lot of people tend to do on YouTube. Just like I have no intention of compromising on video length, which is something that a lot of people have told me, oh, you should cut down your videos, you know, 15 minutes, 5-minute videos. And it's like, nope, not going to happen. Not going to happen, because that's not the kind of videos I want to make. So it is most likely never going to happen. Like, sure, every now and then a small video for whatever reason, because I mean, I don't want to just inflate the length of a video for no reason, obviously, but it's just like, look, I want to do the appropriate video length. Like, for instance, sometimes games are more complex and demand more time from me. Like, if you look at one of my first impressions, like, let's say Gran Turismo 6, it was probably a really big video, a really long video, because there was a lot of stuff to cover. There's a lot of game modes, there's a lot of cars, there's a lot of stuff that you can do in that game. But if you look at another one of my videos, like, let's say, what was the name of that futuristic racer? Quantum Rush. That was actually a much smaller video. Why? Because it's a much more, currently the game is in alpha, obviously, and it is a much more linear type of experience at the moment, because the game is also in alpha. So obviously it took me less time to go through the game and go through the options that are currently available to you in that game than it would take me for Gran Turismo 6, which is a more fleshed out title, and obviously with a much bigger team behind it. I'm not comparing these two games. I'm just comparing it in terms of how long it took me to do my video analysis of those games. So the thing is, I never want to compromise on video length. That is something that I hope I never have to do. And that is, in the long run, is always going to cost me views, because a lot of people don't like watching long format, but that's the type of format that I like doing. And to be honest, that's the type of format that I also like watching. So it's like, it's the way that these things are going to be. And you guys can leave me your feedback, what you think about my particular policy. It's like, oh, you're not adapting, you're not changing, you're not doing all this stuff. And that's like, yeah, because I want to stay true to the type of content that I'm creating. It's that simple. I don't want to change just because it might be more effective so that I can get more views and make more money. Because even though YouTube is a business, if I am doing it in the same way that you do like a regular 9-to-5 job, basically if there is no passion in it and it's all about maximizing my profits and maximizing my views on videos and all that shit, I'd rather just try and get a normal job and whatever. Because if I'm not doing something that I'm passionate about, then the whole point of this is mute. Like, this to me is I'm just doing this because I love doing it. Because, again, this doesn't even pay the bills right now. So, obviously, I've seen that a lot of people have been doing lists of their top games of 2013. Now, my list is not exactly just top games of 2013, because I don't really have a list of my top titles of 2013, so to speak. And the reasoning behind it is the way that I organize this type of information in my head is usually what is the title that I'm really excited about right now. You know, that's the way that I kind of run things. It's not like what is the title that has had the most impact in my life in 2013. And again, it all boils down to the fact that I'm not the kind of person that expects games to blow my mind. Like, for instance, here's another example in regards to the whole games that blow your mind thing. A game that really blew my mind away was Dark Souls. Obviously, I mean, it's obviously because it is the most played game on my channel. But the reasoning behind why that happened, why the game was so friggin' amazing to me, is because I like Demon Souls, but Demon Souls, I have to say, I don't feel was as accessible as Dark Souls in a lot of things. Like, even the upgrade system of the weapons, it is very different from Demon Souls to Dark Souls. The way that you build your character, just I can't explain it. Fact of the matter is, Dark Souls was more accessible in those kinds of things, and the way that just the mechanics and just the entirety of the game was something that to me was really revolutionary as a whole, as the whole package, so to speak. And this is just a personal opinion. And now, in 2014, we're going to have Dark Souls 2, right? And now I'm wondering, I was just thinking about this before I started making this video, like, because I was harping on the whole thing. I was considering the whole subject of people these days expect games to blow their minds at every turn. I was thinking, is Dark Souls 2 going to blow my mind away? I don't think it is. Does this mean that it is a bad game? Of course not. For all I know, it's going to be even better than Dark Souls. But the fact of the matter is, the foundation has already been laid. You know, it's like, even if Dark Souls 2 is a better game than Dark Souls, which I'm not saying either way. I'm not saying that it is or that it isn't, because obviously I haven't played enough of the game to be able to state my opinion on whether I like Dark Souls 1 more than Dark Souls 2 or vice versa. But at the end of the day, even if it is a better game than Dark Souls 1, is it really going to blow my mind? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to blow my mind. It's definitely not going to have the same impact that Dark Souls had on me. It doesn't make it a bad game. It's still going to be a great game. It's going to be a great experience. I'm sure of this. Hell, I've played the beta, and it was awesome. I love it, and I'm going to cover the crap out of that game in my channel. It's just going to happen, and I'm always going to be passionate about that series. But it's never really going to have the same impact that Dark Souls had, because it was the first one. The same thing, for instance, you can see that in Diablo. Like, Diablo 2 was such a big change, at least for me. And no, I'm talking about my personal experience. I'm not claiming, like a lot of people, like, oh, but this game is affecting the industry as a whole. And it's like, fuck all that. I'm talking about my personal opinion here. Diablo 2 was a really great title for me. I played the crap out of Diablo 2. So Diablo 3 obviously had some really big shoes to fill, and it didn't deliver. Diablo 3 for the PC simply did not deliver on everything. Not only that, it also screwed the game over with its dumb auction house system. And a lot of people at the time were like, oh, you're just being naive. The auction house system's all this, that, and yeah, that's going to be great. We're going to be making real money off of it and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Now the auction house system is going to go away. I wonder why. You know? Anyways, Diablo 3 wasn't able to fulfill the expectations that I had for it of Diablo 2. And that's the thing. In that type of genre, I don't think any game is ever going to really blow my mind like Diablo 2 did. It's just not most likely never going to happen again. because certain things happen, and it's impossible to overcome those certain things, those first impressions. Like, for all I know, for someone, Diablo 3 was the best game that it was ever made. And probably another game will never fill the shoes that Diablo 3 filled for that particular person, because it was their first experience with a great genre or something like that. You know what I'm getting at? The thing is, people these days expect every single game to blow their minds, and it's just not going to happen. Not every single game is going to blow your mind, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that is not a good game. And it should not be penalized for the fact that it didn't blow your mind, because who knows how many other people's minds are going to be blown by it. That's the thing. So anyways, taking that into consideration, I'm going to try and give you guys my list. The only two titles that are in order are the very first two ones. The rest of them is just a random order. And my list is more titles that I would like to get more attention, but also titles that I really loved playing this year. So on the very top, I think a lot of people might be surprised by this. I'm probably going to be the only person on the internet that's going to have this game on the very top of his best games of... It's not even best games, but whatever. Like the game that I probably had the most fun with in 2013. I'm probably going to be the only person that's going to have this game there. And I'm really happy about it. The suspense is killing you. Unlike other people who start from the bottom of their list, fuck that. I start right at the top. At the top. Number one with a bullet. Dragon's Crown. I loved this game. I love this game. This game is amazing. It is an awesome game, and if you're looking for something to play and you still haven't played Dragon's Crown, you're doing it wrong. Dragon's Crown is just amazing on every single level. I love that game, and the fact that you can play with 4 people in couch co-op makes this like... This is a mind-blowing experience, okay? My mind was blown when I played this game. But yeah, definitely you guys should check out Dragon's Crown. If you're curious, there's a first impressions video on my channel. Just search for Dragon's Crown. As a matter of fact, there's a full playthrough of Dragon's Crown on my channel as the dwarf character. And there's more Dragon's Crown content coming to the channel. It's just probably not going to be in series form. It's just going to be random content that I'm going to be doing. But there's definitely more Dragon's Crown coming to my channel because I loved the title. The other title, so my number 2 best game of 2013 or whatever, Soul Sacrifice. Loved Soul Sacrifice. An amazing game. I just wish it was also on the PlayStation. You know, the actual PlayStation 3. I wish like you could like cross-play and do stuff like that. That would be awesome. But it is a really solid title, really amazing title. There's also a bunch of videos on it on the channel, so you can go check that out. Now, in no particular order from this point forth, I will be talking about other games that I think people should check out. So, one of those games is Persona 4 Golden. Now, again, this is one of the games that I got to really, really late. But it is a game that I really enjoyed playing, and it really surprised me because I didn't think I could actually get into JRPGs as much as I got into Persona, and it's a good thing that I have it on my Vita because I'm going to be taking it with me when I'm going on the trip with my family, and I'm going to probably be playing the crap out of this game because I was really surprised at how much enjoyment I was able to get out of it, and yeah, I really love this title. Another title that I think people should check out, and this is going to be a title that a lot of people probably never even heard of. And there's an interesting story behind this title in the fact that this is a title that I was talking with a friend of mine. A friend of mine was like, man, you need to check out this title. It's going to be amazing. This title looks really good. And this is that. I think that every time that I say a friend of mine told me about this title, it's always that same person. It's Gato, for those of you who know who he is. It's always him. So he's telling me about this game, and I'm like, I don't know. I was thinking, maybe I'll just ask the developers, see if they'll give me a key. This was before I started asking review keys from developers. And you guys are going to laugh your asses off. So I was like, man, it's going to take them a long time to answer me, and I really feel like doing a video on it now, so I'll just buy it. So I bought the game. It was cheap. It was like 10 euros or something. So I bought the game, made my video, uploaded my video, and No, wait. I actually didn't upload my video. I just played the game and I was ready to make the video the next day. But so I played the game. I was ready to make my video, and then I went to bed, and I was going to make the video the next day. And the next day I wake up, and out of all things that I could have been contacted with, I receive a Facebook message. I receive a Facebook message from one of the developers of this game where he's telling me, hey, I noticed you really like Demon's Souls, so I thought you'd check out my game. And it's got a copy of the game attached in the Facebook page, and I was like, what? I just bought this game yesterday. God damn it. And then it was really cool because I actually got to talk with the developer about the game, so I actually got a lot more information about the title. There's also a first impressions video on this game, and it's interesting that I've been talking about this game for about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, and I haven't told you guys the name. But the name of the game is Strength of the Sword 3. Strength of the Sword 3, you guys should definitely check it out. I think it was recently released in the States, which is weird because it's been in Europe since forever. But whatever, apparently it was recently localized in the States. You guys should definitely check it out. There is a first impressions video on my channel. I'm probably going to just have links to all the titles in this list in this particular video. So you guys can check that out and check like all the videos that I've made in regards to all the titles that I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, also another thing is, you guys might be wondering, but it's Strength of the Sword 3. What happened to the first ones? Let me tell you the story behind that, and you guys are going to laugh your asses off. So the Strength of the Sword guys, they went to a publisher, right? Because they wanted to make a video game. And the publisher tells them, oh yeah, you guys got a nice idea here. You need to split this out over 3 games and make a trilogy. And they were like, but we don't want to do that. We want to make one game. And they're like, no. You guys are going to just split it up, you know, and make 3. It's going to be amazing. And they were like, no, this is not what we want to do. So I think they either went to another publisher or whatever. But you guys can see the mindset of some of these publishers, right? Like how they come up to them with a game, and these guys are like, yeah, split it in 3, and it's going to be amazing. So in order to kind of make a private joke out of it, what they did was they made one game, and that one game was the end of the trilogy. So it was Strength of the Sword 3. There is no Strength of the Sword 1. There's no Strength of the Sword 2. There's Strength of the Sword 3. Because publishers wanted them to make a trilogy, and they said, no, fuck you. This is the end of our trilogy. Strength of the Sword 3. I thought that was amazing. So, yeah, you guys can see the mentality behind it. As a matter of fact, when I was talking with them, you know how some publishers, like, they want you to play their game forever? These guys were like, no. Listen, here's the thing. We want people to play Strength of the Sword. We want them to play it. We want them to enjoy it. There's a challenge mode for those that really want to get more value out of the game, where there's just like tons and tons of waves coming at you. And then, when people are done playing our game, we want them to move on. Like, play our game and be done with it. That was their philosophy, and I can really respect that, because a lot of people these days want you to play their games forever and ever, and these guys are like, no, we want people to come, play a game, have fun, enjoy the crap out of it, and move on to the next game. As a matter of fact, I think they're developing a new game right now. They haven't gotten back to me on it, but they were working on a title that they told me not to talk about, so I can't really tell you guys about the other title they're working on. But yeah, it was really cool. It was I really liked this game, and it was a lot of fun. You guys should check out the video on it for sure. And if you're looking for something to play, this could be something that you might really enjoy. Another title from 2013 that I really liked was Warframe. I really enjoyed playing Warframe. As a matter of fact, I bought one of the founder packs, and I got to interview Sheldon Carter, which is one of the devs over at Digital Extremes. It was awesome meeting him and talking with him about Warframe, and I had a lot of fun with Warframe. That's really all there is to say. There's a lot of Warframe videos on my channel as well. I'm going to put a link in the description so you guys can check that out. And there is also another game that I wanted to mention. This is not like part of the list, but it's also a game that I wanted to mention that kind of fills in a very similar niche to Warframe, and I also play the hell of a lot of it. It's not officially part of the list, but it's like an honorable mention, so to speak, and that is Firefall. Firefall was also amazing. I also got to do an interview with the Firefall devs, and I think Firefall is a great title. I think they just need to get off their asses and start actually working on more endgame content and just stop reworking the start of the game, guys. Stop reworking the start of the game. Trust me, people get the start of the game. They're done with it. They just want the rest of the experience, so get to it. Then another title that I wanted to bring to you guys, which is a part of the list, and a lot of people are going to be surprised by this, is Diablo 3 for consoles. Diablo 3 for consoles actually got me back invested into Diablo 3 because it didn't have the auction house. It didn't have always online, which it's a double-edged sword because it also means that your save files aren't getting controlled, which is not a big deal, I guess. It's just with Blizzard titles, you're always used to them having control over the save files so that you usually don't run into scamming, duping, that kind of stuff. But it's just so much better on the console. I mean, it's like a whole new game. I can't explain this any more than just saying it's like playing a whole new game. And enough to the point where it actually made my supposed list of some of the best stuff in 2013. So if you're on the fence about getting Diablo 3 for a console, there's no reason not to. It's an amazing title. And it's also going to be coming. The Reaper of Souls will also be coming, I believe, to PlayStation 4. And to be honest, I'm more excited about Reaper of Souls for the PlayStation 4 than Reaper of Souls for the PC. Because, trust me, I cannot explain to you how much cooler it is to play a Diablo game with a controller than it is to play it with a mouse and keyboard. I literally cannot explain to you because you're not going to get it. Because I wouldn't be able to get it myself until I got my hands on a controller and started playing it. And I was like, I get it. I get it, and it's a lot cooler. It is a lot. For me, personally, I'll take that 100 times over playing it with a mouse and keyboard, which I feel is going to be a big deal in 2014. Unless people don't feel the same way I do, which could be the case since I seem to be pretty much an exception in this industry in a lot of ways, but whatever. Also, an honorable mention, since we're talking about this specific genre, I would like to mention Path of Exile, which I also spent quite a few hours playing Path of Exile, but it's just an honorable mention. Like, it's not part of officially the list, but I didn't want to not mention it because it is definitely a really solid game. It is just so complex that I do not have enough time to sink into it. Like, it is one of those games that you have to play almost to the exclusion of everything else, at least for a set amount of time, you know, so that you can really sink your teeth into it and really understand all of the mechanics behind it. It is the type of game that really demands a lot of attention. And it is also one of the best free-to-play models that I've seen so far, and where, as far as I could tell from when I played it, all of the free-to-play stuff was completely optional, as in you could not buy a single advantage in this game. Not a single one. Like, you might be able to get, like, I don't know, was there even boosters? I'm not sure if there were even boosters, like maybe experience boosters. But even if they were, like, it wasn't a big deal at all. Like, most of the stuff was cosmetic. So, high props to Path of Exile for being a free-to-play game with one of the best free-to-play models you could possibly have. So, high props to that. Another game that made it onto the list, and this was a completely unexpected game. Completely unexpected, out of left field. I would never have thought in a million years that I would be saying this is one of the best games that I played in 2013. Gran Turismo 6. And you guys might be, what? The thing is, it's my first Gran Turismo title, so there you go. The whole mind-blown factor, Gran Turismo 6 blew my mind. It's an amazing title. It's got a lot of cars, a lot of tracks, a lot of content. Just in terms of content, it is ridiculous the amount of content it has. Now, the issue is it's got microtransactions. I can live with that, though, because I didn't really see myself being that affected by microtransactions. The best thing you can do, sure, can someone just grab a pile of money and buy a really super fast car? Sure. Thing is, best cars, like they said, the most expensive car costs $200. Well, the most expensive car is not really that powerful in terms of performance when you compare it to other cars. Sure, it's a powerful car, but you can get better cars for cheaper money. If you really want to just get bang for buck in terms of performance, the most expensive car, which is a Jaguar, is not even the best car that you can possibly get. So in terms of like getting ahead of other players and stuff like that, you can't use microtransactions for that. And you guys are wondering, but you can still like buy a really super fast car, right? With microtransactions. Yeah, you can. And then you can do the same thing I did with my Lamborghini Countach. You can crash it all over you can crash it all over a track, or you can basically practice enough with it that by the time you're done practicing with it, you would have made enough money to buy the damn thing in game. So I don't think it matters that much. Honestly, I don't think that the microtransactions in Gran Turismo matter that much. I'm still against them. I'm still against them, mind you. I'm not saying that I'm okay with them. No, I'm not. I'm still against those microtransactions. I just don't think they affect the game that much. And it's just a great car game overall. Loved it. Had a lot of fun with it. You guys can check out the video on that as well. Another title that I played this year that I really liked, The Last of Us. Probably one of the only zombie titles, well, not really zombies because they're infected or infested or whatever the fuck you want to call them. But another one of the only games that has zombies in it probably that you'll ever see me play, because it's made by Naughty Dog, and I'm a big fan of Uncharted. And I wanted to see what The Last of Us was about, and it did not disappoint. I really enjoyed The Last of Us, and I enjoyed playing through it. It was just a blast, and I highly, highly recommend it. Now, another title, and this is actually the final title of the list, was Shadow Warrior. Oh my god, Shadow Warrior is so much fun. Shadow Warrior, like, it was amazing. Like, I don't have any particular words to describe it. It was just an amazing title, a lot of fun. I didn't actually play it all the way, but what I did play of it was amazing. And it's just a title that I feel that everyone should check it out. In terms of shooters, and just a fun shooter just for the sake of it, with a really, really cool melee mechanic and skills and all kinds of crazy stuff. Shadow Warrior delivers on multiple aspects. There's going to be a link to a video in the description that you can check out. And now that I've reached the end of the list, you guys are like, but those were 9 games. Well, actually 11 games, but 2 of them were honorable mentions. So those were only 9 games in your list. Yes, because I saved 1 game, because this particular game, I've never really played it, but it is probably one of the games that I've most wanted to play throughout 2013 and didn't get to. Now, a lot of people already know what this title is going to be. A lot of people might not know what this title is going to be, but it's Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate for the Wii U. And obviously the reason why I haven't played it is apparent, because it's on the Wii U and I don't own a Wii U. And the reason I don't own a Wii U, nor will I most likely ever own a Wii U, is because there is one title there that I want to play. One. I don't care a damn thing about any other title on that system. There is one title that I want to play there. Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate, and that's it. So I'm not going to buy a Wii U just to play Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate. It's just not going to happen. So I'm terribly jealous of anyone who's playing Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate. And it is definitely one of the best games of 2013. I mean, I think, I'm not going to say that it is because I never played it, so how can I say that? But I believe it is probably another one of the best games of 2013, although I'm most likely never going to be able to play it unless all of a sudden I start making $1 million on YouTube, which is just not going to happen. So yeah, that's my list. And you guys might agree, might disagree, but that's still my list. Also, I have like an alternate list of a couple of games that didn't make the final cut. So these are games that, if you're curious about, if, like, let's say you've played all the games in my list that I just told you guys, here are a couple of more titles that you might consider taking a look at, also from 2013. Muramasa Rebirth, amazing title. I mean, the Muramasa, I only played the very first one. I never played the Rebirth, so I assume that the Rebirth is going to be even better than the first Muramasa. But I played the first Muramasa on the Wii, and it is amazing. Love that title. And as a matter of fact, I've been trying to reach Exceed to friggin' get me a key of Muramasa Rebirth because the goddamn game is expensive as hell. It's like, right now in Europe, it's like at 49 euros or something. And I was like, what? I can't afford 49 euros for Muramasa Rebirth. Are you crazy? So, yeah, I haven't been able to play it yet. It is an amazing title. I've been trying to get in touch with Exile. I've actually spammed them with emails. And I think in the last email, they didn't say this outright, but they almost said, look, just stop sending us emails. We don't care about you. They didn't say it like this, but it was pretty much what it sounded like. So I'm like, okay, I get it. But either way, you should definitely check it out. That is on the Vita. Then there is Beyond Two Souls. Also a lot of fun. Really fun game. It has one of the best female protagonists in a video game. Like the most realistic female protagonist, even though the game story is kind of like a little bit outlandish. But it's probably one of the best female protagonists in a video game you'll ever experience because it is a very down-to-earth character, and it is not just a set of walking boobs. Another title, Killer is Dead. Awesome. That's all I can really say about this game. Like, just check it out. It's an amazing title. Rogue Legacy. Also, really cool title. This is an indie game. Really had lots of fun with it. I only made one video of it, but I was almost planning on making a series of it because it is a lot of fun. You should definitely check out Rogue Legacy if you haven't yet. Dust: An Elysian Tale. Now, this one was actually released a long time ago for the Xbox 360, but it was only out this year on PC. And as you guys know, I don't own an Xbox, so I only got to play it this year. Really solid title, especially if you take into consideration it was developed by one guy who did both the art and the coding. Okay? One guy. And this title looks amazing. And isn't it interesting that one person can make one title that is so polished and so friggin' amazing, and a whole team of people can't make Battlefield 4 work? I think there's something special to that. Another title that you should check out, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which I haven't really made a video about the Dark Arisen bit of it, but I will eventually go through Dark Arisen, so that is coming soonish, probably after January or something, because I'm still going through the initial portions of Dragon's Dogma in my playthrough, but definitely you should check it out. Another title, God of War Ascension, multiplayer, really awesome. Single player, definitely one of the weaker God of War stories. Still kept me addicted long enough to go through the story, and it's always a lot of fun watching Kratos just dismember everybody, and it's a lot of fun developing your own character, and Trial of the Gods is awesome. So God of War Ascension comes highly recommended. DmC Devil May Cry. A lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I think this game is amazing. Sorry, I liked it. I really liked it. And I hated Devil May Cry 4 on the PC. I thought it was atrocious. I did not like that game at all. And DmC was a breath of fresh air. I was actually able to play it all the way through. Isn't that amazing? Another title that people should definitely check out, Tearaway. Tearaway, and I feel that this title is almost wasted in this industry because not a lot of people get games like Tearaway these days. But Tearaway is definitely an amazing title. You should check it out. Another title, an indie title, Forced. Forced is an awesome indie title that I got to play this year, and I would wholeheartedly advise you to check it out, but particularly if you play with 4 friends, like say you have a League of Legends team or something, and you constantly play with 4 other people or whatever. Problem is, League of Legends teams are usually 5 people, and this is a 4-player co-op game, but whatever. Just, you know that annoying guy that's in your team, that the more annoying one, yeah, that one that you're thinking about right now, fuck him. Just you and the other 3 guys, go get Forced, and you will have a blast. Like, if you check my Forced co-op video, you're gonna, like, it was insane. I love that. 2 titles that I actually got to play this year for the first time in this franchise, Killzone Mercenary and Killzone Shadowfall. Definitely recommend both of them. A lot of fun. Particularly Mercenary. Like, I really like the mechanic of how Mercenary plays. With the fact that, like, you do a headshot, you gain money, you get money, you buy new weapons, you buy new gear, new loadouts. Thought that was amazing. I liked it. I don't know why I like that kind of mechanic. I guess I just have something in my head that, despite the fact that I constantly tell people that I hate grinding, there's a part of my head that actually likes certain types of grinds. Like, grinding headshots, apparently I like that. Another title, Knack. should definitely check out Knack. A lot of people crapped all over this game, and I think the game is actually really solid. So I would advise people to check it out. Resogun, I mean, this is a no-brainer. Probably best launch title on the PlayStation 4. Hearthstone, best card game that I've played this year. I also played Scrolls and played Infinity Wars. Infinity Wars was decent. Scrolls was really good as well, but Hearthstone just takes the cake. And again, I don't have to publicize Hearthstone. Everybody and their mothers have heard about Hearthstone. Even if you're not into card games, there's a great possibility that you would enjoy Hearthstone. So bear that in mind. And last but not least, Guacamelee. Really solid title, also currently available on Steam, I believe. So you can get it either on Steam or on your consoles or whatever. But you should definitely give this game a check out as well. It's kind of in the Metroid vibe, the 2D Metroid vibe. You guys should check it out. It's a lot of fun. And that is going to be the end of this Cons cast. Sorry for the fact that there was no camera footage. There was just Killzone Shadowfall footage, and you're watching me fail all this time. But like I said, I am pressed for time. So as per usual, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazingly Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. I'm probably going to make a video in separate just to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But I'll just say it ahead anyways. And thank you very much for watching. Comments, feedback, all that kinds of good stuff in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next one.